Sorry, I was having a few technical difficulties, but we're getting there. Make sure I'm not going to get a feedback loop. Muted. All right. Man, I actually got on in less than 5 minutes today. I am so impressed. Welcome to the April meeting. Matt just walked in the door, so hence the dog bells. This is the...
Just need help.
No, I was trying to get the fucking thing to start. I grabbed my cell phone, and when I grabbed it, I sent off the SOS, so Matt just came in panicked, thinking that there was something wrong with me. Hi, I'm fine. This is the April 17th meeting of Space Station Requiem. This is our general crew meeting, usually put on by our search and rescue department. Hopefully we'll have a few people join us here. I hear some ding-dongs. But I am going to get right into it because, you know, it's a gorgeous day outside. There's a lot of stuff to be doing in where we're at in South Texas. I know we have a lot of people who are up at Sherwood Forest right now. Give me a second here. There she comes. That are up at Sherwood Forest, so they're not going to make it today, but we look forward to having them join in later and with other stuff. And come on, computer, share screen. Are we still sharing screen? We're still sharing screen. Okay. So our agenda today is going to be a quick note about SPAR reporting, and this is meant mostly for our senior staff members, but also so that everybody else has an idea of just basically how a Starfleet Command chapter runs. We are going to be talking about our Rift runners. We are having our revival edition after a 10-year hiatus, if I remember correctly. It's the last time a Rift runners has been put out. So we'll be discussing when the first publication date is, how members can earn promotion points for submissions. We're going to talk about BantuckyCon 2021. Let's go virtual with it this year. So what is our SPAR reporting? That is basically our monthly reporting to Starfleet Command that tells them just exactly what did we do this month? How did our chapter stand out? You know, did we have our monthly meeting? Did we do some activities? Give me just a second here. Sorry, the dogs were starting to play in the background. Basically, it lets Starfleet Command know who has done what in Space Station Requiem or whatever chapter you may belong to on Starfleet Command. Come on, computer. Next. So ours goes to the CO of the commanding officer of Starbase 4. We do submit our SPAR on the 1st of every month via document attachment to multiple email addresses, including our own, and that's just to ensure it's received. I've found a couple times when I've sent it out and I never received it, and I find that it's still sitting in the outbox. So that we do a checks and balances. Our SPAR one is then posted in the members only group, so that way the members know that they got credit for things that they did. And if they look at it and they see that they didn't get credit for stuff that they did, they can gently remind me, hey boss, you forgot that I did this. So names are very important for Starfleet Command to be able to track accomplishments and to know if someone is truly deserving of a promotion that I'm asking for. So what is Rift Runners? Rift Runners is going to be our triannual publication. And what that means is every 4 months, we will have a new publication come out. Our publication dates are going to be the first Saturday of April. So obviously we just missed this month. the first Saturday in August and the first Saturday in December. We are asking that all submissions be in by the third Sunday of March, July, and November. So that gives our coordinators, our communications department, a couple of weeks to get things together. So what is in it for our members to participate? You get promotion points. What are promotion points great for? Getting promoted. That's how we earn our rank. That's how we show people that we've been involved with our club. So how much is worth what points? Well, if you're providing a cartoon or a meme that you found somewhere else, it's going to be 1 point. We do ask that you cite your source so that we can give credit due. If you give a summation and a link to an article, that is 2 points. Now, this article can be science fiction, science fact. It can be technology based. It could be anything in fandom. If you do a summation of a Space Station Requiem event and give photos, that's going to be worth 5 points. If you're providing original content, so if you're a short story writer, if you do artwork, graphic designs, pretty much anything that is your work, that has come from your creativity, we're going to give 5 to 10 points depending on how complex it is. If you're going to help our communications department with assisting in formatting, compiling of submissions, doing website work and publishing, we're going to give 25 to 50 points. So remember, this is happening 3 times a year, so that gives you plenty of time to get enough points for your next promotion every 6 months. So the really great thing is it is not geographically bound to participate. That basically means is anybody in Space Station Requiem, Guilds of Requiem, Starfleet Command, or any of our other sister organizations can participate. So what sets us apart? Well, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our newsletter that goes, e-newsletter that goes out with a link to our website page is ADA accessible and compliant. What that essentially means is alternate text on the photos. So if, like you see down here on the bottom right-hand side, that's our comm badge with Tree of Life. There'll be an alternate text on that photo saying that it's the Tree of Life on a Star Trek comm badge. We are not going to have any blinking images on our website. We recognize that there are a lot of people, including myself, who are photosensitive. And when you have blinking images that are in rapid succession, you can set off somebody's migraines, you can set off somebody to have seizures. And we just don't want to do that. We want this to be a safe place for people to come and enjoy the content. And we're going to ask that it's going to be visually appealing on our website with user-friendly formatting. What kind of content are we looking for? I already touched on that a little bit. We are looking for Starfleet, for Space Station Requiem or Guilds of Requiem related information. We're looking for current science and space news. We're looking for possible cyber safety tips, cartoons, or memes, and they can be on anything other than just cybersecurity and cyber safety. We're looking for science fiction news. If you got a listing of when all those great next Marvel movies are coming out, that's something we want in there. There's Star Trek movies in production. That's what we want in there. What are our sister clubs up to? This is very, very important. While we have our primary membership in Starfleet Command, we also have membership in the Klingon Assault Group. We have people who are part of the Royal Manticore Navy. We have people who are a member of Starfleet International. We have people who are, oh my goodness, I can't think of all the other ones that are out there. I know there's the ISS, there's the Federation of Planets, there's the 501st. I think I heard that there's a new Avengers type group that is fan club that is all just about the Avengers in the Marvel universe. So we want to know what's going up there. And upcoming events in fandom. 2020 was so horrible on the convention scene. It just decimated it, that this year a lot of the conventions are kind of in a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other place. They would really financially need as much attendance as they can from people. But at the same token, they need to watch their numbers because they don't want to be a super spreader event. So if you know of an event coming up anywhere in fandom, we want to get that out there in front of people too. If they're having a virtual option, that's information that we need to know too. And we're definitely interested in member-generated content. As you know, that I have been writing the Saga of Space Station Requiem, and I will continue to write those. They will get blogged onto our website, and they will also show up as a part of our triannual newsletter. Come on, computer, catch up to me. It is super, super slow today. Another thing we're going to do is we're aiming for consistent publication times. I know that I certainly appreciate that. I know on the first Monday of every month, I'm getting my newsletter from the Dysautonomia International group. Makes it so that I know to set time aside to read those articles that they are providing me with. So we will send out an email to anybody who has signed up onto our group, highlighting our top 3 articles, and we want to make sure that that goes out consistently on the first Saturday of those months, and we make sure that we put it on our pages and social media as well. We are going to create a Rift Runners page on our website that is updated with current articles that will also be available at that same time. So communication between our members in the communications department is kind of necessary. I am going to ask that anybody in our communications department or who is assisting in it, try to do a division of labor that is not only based on talents, but is also equitable. It is very challenging in a group of volunteers where you only have 1, 2, maybe 3 members who are doing everything, when there is room for a lot of people, no matter how small of a contribution, they can still contribute to an overall project. And did I miss anything? I know we've got Heather here, and I saw Mike Riley ping in there. Sound like I hit all the key points on the Rift Runners and getting that started up for the August publication. If not, we're going to go on to BantuckyCon 2021. As many saw on our website, Guilds of Requiem had posted out that we were looking for an event coordinator. It's no secret if you follow my page that I have been dealing with increasing health issues this year, that I cannot do a physical event. It's even questionable if I would be able to participate at a physical event that somebody else is coordinating, let alone coordinate one myself. So we had initially said, no, we're not going to do any events at all this year. It was very challenging for me to run the Spring Homesteaders and Preppers Bazaar. But I am hoping that come October, things will at least have evened out. We'll have more of a schedule that I can budget my time a little bit more wisely. So we are looking at going to a virtual event. And because we're going to be virtual, I'm not going to try to hold us to just one day. I would like to have us be that entire last week of October. So that gives us plenty of time to do things. What is our theme? Rednecks inherited the earth. Pretty much every post-apocalyptic movie you watch, who's the ones that survive? Rednecks. It is the rednecks. They are the ones that have got all of the supplies. They've got all of the weapons. Usually they're former military. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're just really resourceful rednecks. So there is a joke in Bandera County that we are the Bantucky of Texas. We kind of have a really high redneck type population and mindset out here. So I am going to say that there was a heat delusions involved when we came up with this at UFO Minicon last year. It was 120 degrees in the shade. We had been out there since 6 a.m. and by the time we got to 6 p.m., we were all pretty goofy. But we're going to take it and run with it. Everybody in our local area that we have talked to and have reached out to, they love the idea. Why did we go with the BantuckyCon versus another UFO con? Because it opens the door for all fandoms, cosplay, paranormal investigations, and UFOs. We can hit everything. It is all pretty much allowed in there. This also includes steampunk because, you know, that's a fandom. It also allows people to kind of help, hey, it's going to be 60 degrees when we get up in the morning. It's going to be 98 by the time we hit 4 p.m. And, you know, by the time we get to the sun going down, we're back to 40 degrees again, which when we have an outdoor event, that's a big deal. Virtual, maybe not so big. So why did we decide to do a virtual event? Last year, I went to the great expense of registering BantuckyCon and Ren Fair Bandera County as being events tied to the Guilds of Requiem. And I was informed that because we have not officially had a BantuckyCon, that in order to keep my presence of having registered that name, I do have to have an event at least once a year, as we outlined in our Guilds of Requiem information that we submitted to the state of Texas. So we are going to go ahead and do a virtual one. They did tell me that that was acceptable because there's still COVID precautions in a lot of areas and everything else. It just, as long as we have an event this year around the time that we initially told them that we would. This also allows for sister chapters in Starfleet Command to participate. I know I posted out in Starfleet Command. I've already gotten 4 or 5 emails of different chapters who are interested in participating. They just want to know how. So as soon as we, you know, I'm going to send them a link to this because a lot of them said that they were going to be busy today. It does allow for us to have an increased exposure in the convention world. Because we're going to be virtual, somebody doesn't have to travel to Texas. They don't have to figure out how to get to San Antonio. Then they don't have to figure out how to get 45 minutes west of the San Antonio airport to attend the event. So there's that to help. Our postings and activities can be pre-scheduled to publish during that week. So say maybe a chapter already has a bunch of events happening that last week of October because it is Halloween week. They can pre-schedule what they want, you know, what they were doing for that event. And it just makes it easier for everybody all the way around. Now, we do have some decisions to make, and I'm going to put a poll into our private group for people who are Starfleet Command members to vote on this. Which virtual platform of choice do we want to use? I'm going to ask people to kind of list what they feel the pros and cons would be of using our own website. And I'm probably going to have to pick on Jeff Lester's brain quite a bit, or Ben Gravely's brain a little bit, because they would be the ones that need to help with that. Bella's dreaming and she's evidently chasing the cat right now. We can do Facebook. Facebook is very popular. It is free. We can either create it as an event or as in a group. And I'm probably going to aim towards a group, and there, I'll get to it in just a moment to tell you why. If there's any other virtual platforms out there for hosting conventions, please let us know. It's spacestationrequiem@gmail.com. What are the pros and cons of using these? Remember, free is not necessarily better, but free is what we can afford this year. So what will we do? Well, obviously, we're going to have STEAM activities, which are science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, because we took our end of the summer STEAM event that we have for the local homeschooling and the kids in Bandera County. And we also took our June Arts Festival, and we took our Rocky Horror Picture Show and UFO Minicon, and we shoved them all together into one event. So it does make for a busy time, but, you know, I'd rather be busy one week doing a bunch of things than trying to figure out how to make everything happen 4 different months. I would like to get other organizations to help, not only with promoting that organization themselves, but also us with them. And it also takes some of the load off of our members' shoulders on providing all of the activities. We are going to have some fandom-based activities, and I would like to have a vendor area, artist alley, everything else like you would see at a normal convention. How will we fund it? Well, anyone who participates, does an activity, does a anything in there to help enhance the event, help promote the event. We're going to guarantee them a vendor spot. Whether it is a free vendor spot, I do not know just yet. That is something that we will probably decide between now and when we have our May meeting. But just to vend, I am going to say is $25. So that's why I was looking at a group, because once somebody has paid their fee to me for vending, I can add them as a moderator in the group, so that opens up to them to be able to post. I am going to have a donation button for attendees, probably through Patreon or through PayPal fundraisers. And it's going to be the option for them to donate any amount. They can also donate to any charity locally to them and send us a receipt, email us a little copy of the receipt, text it to us, whatever, saying that they donated in the name of Space Station Requiem in Nantucket County. The option will be to use the donation button of any amount, and we will select a charity of our choice, usually by poll. 75% of those donations will go to the charity of choice. 25% will be used to cover Space Station Requiem expenses. We are a nonprofit group. I kind of sat down and I figured out that if we have 100 people donate $5 each, that's $500. 25% of that is about $100, and that's about how much it's going to cost us to advertise. So that was the quick math that we did this morning. So that is everything that I have on that. Oh, and it didn't, I have no idea if it actually did the subtitles or not while I was talking. That's a new feature for PowerPoint, is to do subtitles when you talk.
It did for most of it. Towards the very end, your connection got too slow for it.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen. I also probably talked faster than it could do, because it's, I wanted to try to keep our meeting as short as possible. And also, it was a hard decision for me to make, but we're not going to game on Saturday afternoons. I honestly don't know if we're going to be able to game on Sundays. I was in the ER multiple times in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all, everybody can still kind of see the residual of why I was in there. I was bending over and Cletus jumped up on the bed, laid me out cold. And yeah, so, and then we've had rainy weather all week. And so my pain levels have been really high, and I've had an extraordinarily high of seizures.
This weather's bad. I had
Yeah,
two
weird.
headaches this week because of the weather.
Yeah, I ended up in the ER Thursday night, Wednesday night. I don't remember which night. And then as soon as we got home, we ended up going back because I had a 35-minute seizure. Yeah. So yeah, it's while we've had, I'm going to go ahead. First of all, I'm going to stop us off of our